So the mics are up. So
what the hell?
Well, we're gonna explain.
Okay, because I didn't watch the show and I didn't watch the meeting.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, you're gonna get schooled
and
tonight.
You guys were cackling like hens on that group chat.
You're gonna learn. We're gonna learn you tonight.
I had no idea. I'm like, what the hell did I miss?
And somebody got their panties twisted.
I didn't hear about it until I just came in.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, I'm going to start it off with a little video.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, for people to watch.
OnlyFans,
like the beginning of the show.
OnlyFans.
Oh, I have multiple
Where
videos.
The disclaimer was put out there.
I have multiple videos for tonight. So, with that being said, I want to set the tone a little bit by playing this video right here. Okay. That right there was the opening to a famous game show back in the, well, it was the 60s and 70s, really.
60s, yeah.
Yeah. That was actually 70s because that was the new host, Joe Garagiola.
Oh, okay.
By the way, that kid that you saw at the end right there, that wasn't the kid they were looking for. That was actually Anderson Cooper from
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So that show was called To Tell the Truth. And what it was... You've never? No. Okay. What it was is they had
before I was born.
Yeah, me too.
3 contestants that came up, right? And they would say, "I'm Mike Mish. I'm Mike Mish. Right?
There's only one.
And then
there's two. There's
then there were 4 people on the panel, and they would ask questions of each individual contestant, and then they had to guess who was the real person.
Okay.
Kind of like last night.
Yeah,
so,
explain that, because I
got them splaining to do.
Yeah, I didn't watch the show.
I don't think I have any explaining to do, to be honest with you.
Not at all.
But I'm going to go ahead and set the stage, So last night we did a show. Well, actually yesterday afternoon. That was the other thing. They said it was morning, but it was early afternoon and late afternoon.
Okay.
That the show was called Here are things coming or going on in town, or are they?
Okay.
Insinuating whatever.
Like fact or fiction.
Fact or fiction, right. So we started the show.
Hold on, okay. It was Are We Lying or Telling the Truth?
Okay.
That was the name
and
of the show.
You can go to YouTube and see that. It is up there. That video is still up there, so you can take a look at it. So there's that. So we were very, very upfront. Very upfront about what we were doing last night. And we were trying to get people to say, well, what's the truth and what's not? I do want to preface this by saying that all 3 members of the Board of Selectmen tonight were invited. As you can see, none of them have taken me up on that invitation.
Did they respond at all?
There were no responses either. Whatever. I did not think they would come. But I did want to go ahead since we will be talking about them, that I wanted to give them the opportunity to be here. Unlike them talking about the show and not giving me the opportunity to speak back. So tonight we're going to clap back.
Okay.
Are they listening right now? Yeah, I'm sure they are. Good evening, Board of Selectmen.
We had the chance to speak last night at the public forum. Wayne and I were there, and we chose not to.
Okay.
We decided to be responsible and not speak.
All right.
Jeez. Note that one in the record books. Be responsible.
Well, there wasn't a place for it.
Okay.
So one of the things that happened last night, one of the stories was Wayne Malin, and actually you collaborated on this, which I didn't even see coming, to be honest with you.
Totally unrehearsed.
Where St. Mary's School, the old school, has been sold, and they're going to make apartments, make it into apartments. The other part of that was that if St. Mary's School, or if the developer didn't do anything, then the town was going to go ahead and buy it, knock down the school, and make a parking garage.
Oh, God.
But we said right off the bat,
True or false?
true or false.
Yep.
Okay.
What about the helipad that's supposed to go on top?
Yeah, we talked helipads and stuff like that.
Yep.
You know what? I really thought I was going to get some clap from the Catholic Church for talking about nuns bloodying people's knuckles. Nobody says anything about that,
Well,
but people
because
got a lot to say about a parking
because that's
garage
fact.
story.
Nobody discussed
Yeah.
any of the other things we brought up.
I know.
It was
I know.
not brought up. 3 other issues that,
I even brought up
true or false?
the old school, the alternative school. No action on that.
Nothing.
Was it true that the nuns gave people bloody knuckles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
That's what I'm
whack
saying.
you.
That's
You know, I
fact.
mean,
Yeah, the
Back in
yardstick, right?
Back in the day,
A
they made
ruler.
them
They used a
rulers.
ruler,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I even said that, we even made fun, and said we were talking about catechism, and
Yep.
we talked about First Communion
Yep.
Oh,
and
jeez.
confirmation. And I said confirmation there was you ran around and tried to stay away from Sister Anna in the library for 2 minutes. And if you succeeded, then you were
You were
confirmed.
confirmed.
So,
Really?
yeah, nobody said squat about that. But,
Nope.
Getting beat with a ruler or yardstick by a nun is probably less scary than being in public schools nowadays.
Yeah, really. I know.
Sure.
Actually, they probably need a lot more of the rulers
Yeah.
on knuckles net these days.
So Dawn, I just want to go ahead, because I want to, Dawn Natos, hey, Dawn, try not to cause any trouble tonight, laughing face emoji. And then she says, I guess when you drop in the show, mid-show, you had no idea it was a game unless you read the title.
Although every time it went around the table, it started off with true
True
or
or
false.
false.
And then boom, out
Yeah.
we came with something, right?
So, and
I
she
can
was,
see where people would interpret that because the first part was true, the second part's false.
Mhm.
she said,
Instead
she
of
was,
two
I'm looking
separate.
shit up because I thought you all had lost your mind. No, we made you lose your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. So,
I had more people hit me up last night about what
Yeah.
the hell took place tonight. And I said, just go watch the selectmen's meeting or go watch the show on SN. You'll know.
No such thing as bad press, right?
no, that's for sure. Lisa Co says beating a nun with a ruler is a whole other option. Oh, crap. All right. So what had happened? I'm going to play the segment that Wayne was talking about,
Okay, yeah.
where all the controversy came from.
Mhm.
All right. This is not the first time we've done this. Paul Ash and I talked about a manure business that was going up on Norman Road.
Yeah.
Right? It was all chicken shit, like the story.
Coming in
You
out
know?
of state.
Coming in out of state, right?
Oh, people must have gone crazy on that one.
And here's another thing. Do you guys remember on social media there was a there was a page called the Patchogue Recorder?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. I have no idea who did that. It wasn't me. I have an idea, but that person says, nope, was not. Well, guess what? You talk about stirring the pot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They were stirring shit up.
It was funny.
And they were putting phone numbers in there. I got phone numbers because apparently I was the new media director for the town of Griswold because of the new helipad that was going on Edmond Road.
I mean, that would really only.
Oh, it's false, by the way. Whoa, don't freak out now.
That would only happen in a small town.
That's right. Yeah.
Stuff like that only happens
Totally.
where people lose it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But rather than inform themselves from the right sources, they listen to this. I mean, there's nothing official about any of this. I mean,
if you look at the title, it'll tell you what we are doing.
I mean, and this is what they base their opinions on and supposedly started calling town hall about it. You know, I mean, stop.
So I'm gonna play now the piece with Wayne Malin. Now you can watch the entire thing because I will, just for transparency. Mm-hmm. From when he tells the story, there's about a 4-minute gap before we actually go ahead and tell the truth.
Right.
So I did edit a lot of that out of there just for time constraints.
Sure.
But you can go and watch it anytime you want. It is up on our YouTube page from last night. So here is Wayne Malin. Is it true or is it false? So what I wanted to talk about today is some things that are going on in town.
Yep.
And then some things that are going on in town, or maybe they're not really going on in town. I wonder if people can
decide
know the difference.
Fact or fiction?
Yeah. So who wants to start the parade? Would that be?
I'll start it.
All right, go ahead.
So they had a meeting last night. St. Mary's School is there's a project that was talked about last night about turning that building into apartments, workforce apartments, basically.
What are workforce apartments?
It's the same type of thing as affordable housing, but it's really for single individuals that don't need a place to live. It's affordable, and it's not meant for families.
Okay.
Even though there's going to be some 2 bedrooms, I think there's 6 2-bedrooms and 37
square feet. They're not much,
and 37 single bedrooms. So it's mostly for single individuals or a young couple or something like that. There's some questions going on about parking. There's a concern about parking. So the decision was, okay, not build the thing, knock the building down and put in a parking garage.
I heard that was like option B.
Yeah. So, because people were concerned about the church service.
Yep.
Where are people going to park now that whole, because people used to park there
to walk over to church.
Now that's not going to be available, right? So, maybe we should decide to just knock that whole thing down.
So the church would still own it,
but don't.
No, the town would buy it.
Oh, the town? No, the church was.
If the developer back, it doesn't do anything with it.
The parking garage, the town would buy it.
The town will buy the property, knock it down, and put up a parking garage.
That's the best bet.
Hey, listen, the town needs it. There's no parking here.
No. Question. It's time to spill the beans.
Is it?
Is your story true or false?
Oh, about the parking garage going in?
Yes.
It's false. Just want to see how many people we can spin up on that.
You had me going for a minute. With the angle you took, you had me going on that one for a minute.
No, it's false. They want a couple more. They got a couple more things to look at, and then they're gonna left the hearing open. It's going to move forward. They just have a little bit more closure on it, and then they'll.
But the apartments thing is true. All right, so there you go. That was the whole thing. Now, apparently, during the Board of Selectmen meeting, somebody, I think the verbiage is several calls.
People need to get a life. They're calling town hall about
it. Could have been 2 calls.
I don't know. What a wait!
It might have just been one, because what I had heard was I know somebody that was watching the show, and at that time, because it was an early afternoon show, it wasn't a late show. At that point, there was one person that I will just leave nameless at this point that was in watching the show as well as my wife was. About 15 seconds after that, a second person jumped in that was told to go in and see what was going on. So if you watch the selectmen's meeting, you know who
Would
I'm
that have
talking
been
about.
Lisa Wood?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, no.
Call it like it is, right?
Matter of fact, she's named in the video
Okay.
by the first select.
So she went in.
She doesn't even like social media.
She don't like me either.
Here's the problem. The other person I think was key to this, and that's the person that made the phone call, and that's why Lisa Wood got put into that whole position to go check it out. And listen, there was probably one phone call made on that.
And we don't know that to be true.
We don't.
None of that to be true.
We don't. But based on who was there watching the show, they were the only
that's
ones.
Speculation.
They were the only ones.
My guess, I'm sure Lisa Wood has more important things to do than to be tasked with.
Well, if she gets told to do it by the
in
boss, she's going to do it, right?
Again, I don't know.
Nothing against Lisa. I got nothing.
Oh, by the way, Mike Mish is here. We actually are going to get into an actual conversation.
I got nothing against anybody that was
Lisa
involved in
was
it. It's just like, listen, suck it up. It's humor.
To the board of selectmen,
Oh, okay.
like admin assistant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And she's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, through many
the first-
different administrations.
The first selectman is totally not social media.
yeah.
So somebody had to do it.
Yep.
So they had. So Lisa Wood was.
I was
asked
not
or
there.
Oh, okay.
I was not
Oh,
there.
I thought you said they were. Okay, go
You're
ahead.
going to hear it in the video. So, with this being said, you know, and what that story was, the Board of Selectmen needed to comment on it during their Board of Selectmen meeting last night. And let's see which one here.
Why?
Well, I don't know why.
Because it twisted them.
Good question.
So here we go.
It was irresponsible.
Ready?
Aren't the fact checkers supposed to catch all this?
Yeah. It's just listen. Dude, you want to continue? Just listen. Right?
So now this is from the Board of Selectmen meeting last evening.
At a public meeting.
Item 6B, discussion and possible action on social media issues. I had to think about this one, but I have to bring it up because it caused a little bit of a stir today. I received several phone calls. And apparently, and I don't know how much it has to do with social media, but I do want to put it out there and publicly, and especially if there are people watching this. I received several phone calls today from residents who had been listening to a local broadcast this morning. And the calls that I received were, we didn't know that the town was going to purchase, apparently, the St. Mary's property, the school property, and we were going to pay to put up a parking garage. And it kind of took me by surprise. And I said, and they said, nobody's ever said anything about this. And I said, I know nothing about this. I said, that wasn't anything that we had discussed. And I think that, you know, I had Lisa go through meeting minutes and it wasn't anything that I recognized. But then Lisa went on and listened. And as she got further into the program, I don't know, was it a true, I don't know if it's something that they do at the station, but was that a true statement or was that a false statement? And, it came out to be that, no, that was not a true statement. So I don't know. I just want people to know that, no, it was not a true statement. And no, we are not buying the school property and putting up a parking garage where the building stands now. So I just want to put that out there because there was some concern and I was taken a little bit by it. I just want to clarify it.
All right, so that was from the Board of Selectmen meeting. That was, of course, First Selectman Tina Falk and Selectman Rich Grabowski and Martin McKinney. So one thing I thought was great was that Tina did say, you know, that it seemed like it was a segment they called, you know, is it true or is it false? So she did acknowledge that, you know. If she did get, and I don't have any reason to doubt that she didn't, but any kind of phone calls, I think she personally should have said, I don't know anything about it. Why don't you call Mike at SNSN?
Right.
Ask him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if you notice in the beginning of the video with Wayne Malin, it's spoken about, is it true or false? At the end of it, is it true? Is it false?
Mm-hmm.
The title of the video, is it true or false? Whatever. Nothing was held back. And it was modeled really after a game show called To Tell the Truth, which was a very popular game show back in the 60s, 70s, and partially the 80s.
And none of this was prearranged.
Yeah.
None of it. It was just completely
it was all
on the fly.
So I would imagine that whoever called to complain it's
people, irrelevant.
No, it may. I don't think it is, because if they whoever called to complain, they were saying, oh well, I didn't know you guys were talking about putting up a parking garage or whatever. There was just a meeting the night before about the St. Mary's School.
Exactly.
So the people that are all concerned about, oh my gosh, a parking garage. If they were that concerned, they would have been at the meeting the night before and would have heard what the plans were.
Mm-hmm. And even though we're doing all this talking tonight about it being fiction, someone's still gonna get there. It's so like, folks,
let them get the panties.
Oh no, I don't have a problem. I think it's kind of funny, to be honest with you, folks. This is a podcast show, okay? You want your news? I used to do news. I don't do it anymore. Why? Because everybody wants their 5 minutes of fame on Grizzled Now. Well, go do it.
Sometimes we do talk about news, but
once in a while,
when it's serious, we
put that in there. Serious, like Monday, we put it in. Mm-hmm. What's going on, and we talk nothing about town development. Yeah, nothing like that. There was no jokey about it. Nothing.
These are the people that read the Onion and think that's all facts.
Right. The Babylon Bee.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Oh, did you see what they put out? It's it's satire, right?
Right. Those are the people that are like, oh my god, I can't believe
I saw it on TikTok.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody likes to find a reason to get it.
They're probably the ones that are going to the bank and getting gift cards to send to people that
Nigeria.
have their,
the selectmen knew who was here doing this. And remember the last time the shit hit the fan a little bit, and Wayne was working the shutdown, right? Yeah. Wayne's phone is ringing at 11 o'clock. Who's on that show? Who's on that show? What was being talked about was getting them. They knew who was on this show. All they had to do was reach out and say, "Hey, come to my office. Let's talk about it. What's going on."
Never done that.
You don't go blow it out there in public at a selectmen's meeting. That was just absurd. And they're calling us irresponsible, right?
So this isn't the first time you've run afoul of the.
Oh God, no.
I don't even know what the last one was about, but
I got one more video.
Right.
I got one more video.
Move on to the next segment.
Yeah, and what this is another Board of Selectmen video, and this is how. And I am going to say that because this person is speaking at a Board of Selectmen meeting. Mm-hmm. So this obviously is the opinion of the Board of Selectmen. So this is just a short video. Let me find it. Here it is.
And I think it's irresponsible because it was never a proposal. It was never a proposal with the church. It was never a proposal with zoning. It was never a proposal with the borough. It was never a proposal of the Board of Selectmen. It's totally irresponsible to put that kind of stuff out. Okay. And the realm of the phone calls we get for that it's irresponsible. It's wrong.
Okay. So we were called irresponsible. Now, I respect Martin McKinney. I personally don't have any issue with Martin McKinney. I think
he's a problem with any of them.
No, of course not.
No,
of course not. We've talked just in jest and had conversations. I think he's a brilliant businessman. I voted for the guy, and I'm not saying that to suck up or anything like that. That's just fact. However, we were not irresponsible for doing a show that is a parody. Mm-hmm. And it was obviously a parody, and it was listed as a joke. Mm-hmm. If you're getting phone calls on that, call Mike at SNSN. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, don't take phone calls like that. I mean, that's honestly taking phone calls like that and giving these people the time. It feeds into what they perceive as being an issue. That's part of it. don't do that. Just no, I don't know what they said. Go talk to him.
We did not do anything. I feel I've talked to others in the town. Don't feel we did anything irresponsible.
No.
At all.
Now that I've heard the whole story and heard that, I honestly just find it funny at this point. I mean, how ridiculous.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny last night with them.
How ridiculous.
I know it, right?
I mean,
Pick
seriously?
Pick your battles.
Lisa Co says this is not like public safety was in balance here. Not sure where the so-called irresponsibility is from. Here's something that's irresponsible. Telling us that we're irresponsible to doing a comedy parody show. And being I'm sorry. That's that.
It falls under freedom of speech, I think.
Right. But here's what is responsible. Listing the show for what it is. Mentioning multiple times what the show was to anybody that was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know damn well if there were 20 people sitting around this table and I whisper something to Rich, who's right next to me, and his job is to whisper and then to the next person and so on and so on.
It's a telephone game.
Guess what? It's completely different by the time it gets to you.
Fish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught this fish.
I'm sure the people that called probably actually never heard what you said. They heard it from a friend of a friend.
They're irresponsible for not being informed.
Yeah. And that's happened before.
Sure.
Where they get information from people that is not accurate.
Exactly.
But they think it is.
If we're not being serious, we will tell you we are not being serious.
Mm-hmm.
If we're serious, we'll tell you we're being serious. Here's something else that is responsible that I don't talk about. I have invited the Board of Selectmen in here, not just tonight, but other nights as well. And either I don't get a call back or I hear, let me check my calendar, and then I don't get a call back. My goal is to have people come in and talk about what's going on in this town. I have never disrespected any Board of Selectmen member that from any town to come in here and do that. Let's
face it, if they come in here and spoke about
and I'll even make it comfortable for you if you are uncomfortable with somebody that is hosting the show with me.
Yeah. If you had them come in and speak, now you know that there's people watching this show that obviously don't pay attention to what goes on in town hall. So if you bring town hall here and those people hear it directly out of the Board of Selectmen or first, whatever one comes in and speaks, they can take it to the bank. They don't have to sit there and worry about the true or false game. You know what I'm saying? It's just...
Here's something else that is responsible. We have a gentleman on this show by the name of Wayne Malin. He ran for first selectman against Tina Falk. Tina Falk was victorious. She is our first selectman, who I also respect and I like. I just do.
Oh, I've known her for years. She's a great person.
She's wonderful.
That was the lady in the video?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I've known her since I was 15 for crying out loud.
And she actually said, and she was the only one that said, I think maybe, I don't know if it's something they do there, the true or false thing. So.
Because she doesn't do social media, so
right.
She doesn't know.
Well,
so
why
she
talk about it if you don't know?
Exactly.
So getting back to Wayne Malin, and this is something you all know, but I don't talk about it publicly because it doesn't need to be, but I'll tell you right now.
Right.
Now Wayne's a big part of this show. He's on 2-3 days a week. He takes care of the schedule. We got a whole text group. He's the one that's figuring out, who's on what night. Not me. He's doing it. If he decides that he is running for political office once again, I'm losing a part of my team. And he knows that. Because I can't have him on here.
Right.
If he's running for... I can have him on as a guest, as a paid advertisement, but I can't have him on as a part of our panel anymore.
Conflict of interest.
Huh?
Conflict of interest.
Exactly.
Yeah, it just wouldn't look good, that's for sure.
No.
It would kind of be like if people in Congress and Senate, the House of Reps or Senators were looking over financial matters in the United States, and then buying stocks based on.
Yeah, I know.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, never.
Nancy Pelosi? No, that doesn't happen.
So if you ask me, which you should have, I think we do things very responsible. Anybody have any issue with that?
Nope.
Not myself.
Meeting adjourned. Just go through a couple of comments, and then Mike will get to talking to you.
Cool.
We have at least 7 minutes to talk to you. So.
Whatever. 7 minutes, 7 seconds, whatever.
Rich Wasilek, you know him a little bit, right?
He's at work.
I think so. I think
He's
we know.
working.
Yeah.
Or supposed to be.
Saying anything at the Board of Selectmen meeting added more reality to the parody show. All right? That is not right. It isn't right. But thank you, Board of Selectmen. You really helped us out a lot. Erica, it gives them something to talk about at the meetings. Yeah, they kind of needed the views.
I did share the Board of Selectmen meeting on everything, not knowing this was all happening. Yeah. So I went.
They had 21 views on that show
then,
on their meeting. We had
they're welcome.
About we had about 1,000.
I mean, did like for the obviously I live in Canterbury, so it's different. But is there a lot of involvement with the
who's first selectman in Canterbury? Yosemite Sam.
I forget his name.
Pow 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 pow.
Oh, why does everybody think Canterbury's a Wild West?
It is.
It is.
I freaking live there, man.
It's a great town.
You know, if you don't have 2 acres of land and a cow.
Yeah, the way it should be. The town just leaves people alone unless you're.
I love them little Highland cows. They're great, but only in Canterbury.
Cute.
So you just go get along there and get up to better value and get yourself a grinder.
I don't know anything about Canterbury at all, other than just driving through it to get somewhere else.
Great town.
Yeah.
Erica says, what are they going to talk about at the meeting? Otherwise, real topics that aren't in special session.
Well, that too.
Dawn Matos, you are operating a business and can operate it as you see fit. Great marketing gimmick, though. Be more creative in fake content to get even a bigger response.
I know, honestly, that's
laugh out loud emoji.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking was if it got that much attention, let's keep doing it.
Stir the pot.
Right? Keep it going. And maybe that'll get more people involved in the town and what's going on in town and watching this.
Lisa goes, listening to this podcast makes me want to go to the town meetings to hear them plug your podcast.
They didn't say the name, though. They just said a local broadcast or whatever.
Radio broadcast.
I would say, you know what, though? Next time that's brought up during public comment, I think it should be mentioned that, hey, if you're going to, talk about the local broadcast, at least name it.
Put it right
I mean,
Darlene said the day. And I'm looking through content from the New London Day, and they're playing a clip off of one of my sports broadcasts. And I'm like, y'all didn't even call me, and they didn't even credit me.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah, seriously.
So I got a hold of the person in charge over there of the social media.
Gone.
No. A whole bunch of apologies. And then he credited us. That's fine.
Yeah. That's what you should do.
Because it was showing a local kid doing a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be taken down. Just you need to credit the people.
Yeah. That's just
you should get
professional
back to
courtesy.
the guy at the day and be like, hey, if you really want a good story, I got
Yeah,
one.
no,
about
here's
the,
one.
Town of Griswold putting up a parking garage at the old St. Mary's school. See what he runs with that.
Oh.
Lisa Co says, first I thought it was Howard Stern, but then I remembered Minarski.
Howard Stern.
Because Cheryl said, how many local radio shows do we have?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're the number 1 podcast on Main Street, Jewett City, by the way. Just so you know. All right, have we had enough of this? I think we've beaten it to the ground.
Well, yeah, we'll have to go like round 3 in another day or so because I'm sure there'll be some feedback,
They are welcome here anytime.
They are. Absolutely.
Anytime.
I find it funny that people get so worked up over things like this, but the major issues that are in town, nobody.
I know.
Like,
I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and get a bumper sticker that says Martin McKinney, not my selectman, or anything like that. I like Martin. I honestly do, and I like a lot of his stuff that he says. And we collaborated on the parade, and everything together. And he had some really great ideas that worked well.
I think I'm going to get you a bumper sticker that just says "I'm irresponsible."
Everybody knows that.
I bet I know somebody can make that.
I could do that, actually. We'll wear it to the next Board of Selectmen meeting. Just as irresponsible. Put like a baby toy on it or something.
There you go.
We could all show up wearing a shirt.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe they took time out of the
Oh, yeah.
for that.
Oh, yeah.
I knew all day oh my God, I almost did a video last night and posted it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to wait.
You're worried like you did something when you were a kid and then you knew.
I wasn't worried at all.
Grounded by your parents, but it was like you had to go through.
Had nothing to be worried about.
Yeah, the anticipation.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah, you
After.
can read that comment and you don't say nothing, but.
Oh, no, I'm not going there.
No.
Irresponsible.
Mm-mm.
I'm not. No, I would never. I would never. All right. Let's see. Glad this is true. Glad Grant's berry patch, who was on fire today, was contained quickly.
Yeah,
Today, there was
Where did that come from?
I don't know. It was contained quickly though.
Yeah.
And only a few...
It was a sun flare that came down, and He-Man.
Oh, like in Maui,
Came down.
the laser.
Yeah. And She-Ra came in. She-Ra came down like pow 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 pow. Is that true or false?
Careful, it's going to be. It's like another 2 weeks before the next Board of Selectmen meeting. So
yeah, the 28th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's going to be a couple weeks before they're going to have to start keeping track.
Oh, they're taking notes. Somebody's taking notes.
Lisa says we should get them all personalized tumblers. All right, we're going to be back in a minute. We're going to talk to Mike Mish. We're going to talk about something really exciting: mortgages.
Here we go.
True or false?
True or false?
We'll be back in a minute on SNSN.
You buy better.
Better it burns.
Much better.
So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns.
You buy better, it burns. You buy better.
If you've shopped for insurance, you've gotten caught up in this trap. If you need insurance, press 1. If you need good insurance, press 2. If you need cheap insurance, press 3. Don't get stuck in this endless loop of wrong options. Call the Burns Agency today. No automated systems, no voicemail, no call centers. Real, licensed account managers here to guide you through the insurance process. From quote to purchase and long-term quality customer service. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
You buy better.
Better it burns.
Much better.
So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns.
Life is full of choices. At Jewett City Savings Bank, we can make one choice easy, finding the right checking account. We offer a range of affordable accounts to fit your budget and needs, and each gives you the freedom to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you, stop by one of our offices or visit us at jcsbank.com. Jewett
Or doing anything.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah, 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they gonna know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
All right, welcome back to the show, guys. Thanks for hanging with us tonight.
All right, I got to bail.
All right, goodbye, Richard.
See ya.
Bye, Rich.
See you, Rich.
What Dominic says too.
Okay, thank you.
Rich I can Nova.
I can. I'll be there.
So
Whenever,
exciting.
Whenever Wayne says he's back, huh?
Pretty exciting show, huh?
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry, I missed it.
no. It's all good. Also, don't forget, Bill's Bedding and Furniture Showroom. They have recliners right now, just $4.99 and 0% interest. Equal payments for 12 months.
I think I need a new mattress.
How would you know if I needed a new mattress?
I said, I think I need a new mattress.
Oh, didn't she just say I think you needed a
No, thank
she
you.
didn't.
No, I said I think I need a new mattress.
I think I need a new mattress. She
Yeah.
definitely took that the wrong way.
Thank you.
And ran with it, just like that segment the other night with the parking garage thing. True or false?
Right.
I'm going to get a yearly parking pass in there. I'm going to have AI change what you just said.
That's fine. Whatever.
Sorry, who cares? Anyway, Bill's Bedding and Furniture Showroom, North Main Street, Danielson. You see him scrolling on the bottom right now. $459. Oh, yeah. Did I screw up?
It's $450. What?
Yeah. 12 months interest free, equal payments. Yeah. That's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with all the sporting events that are coming up, the NCAAs, March Madness, the National Championship football game, Super Bowl, all these things. It's the best time to get a recliner. Bill's Bedding and Furniture Showroom, North Main Street, Danielson. Hi, Mike.
What's happening? I was going to say buy one, get one free.
Mortgages, buy one, get one free.
I meant about the recliners. Yeah.
No.
I'm not like the mortgage.
Is it true or is it false?
You have to go there and find out.
If you get a mortgage through Mike Mish, you get a free recliner.
There you go.
Mike will go out and get
Pretty
you.
sure that's illegal.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
you can't bird dog those things?
I think, well, if it's for the borrower, you could, I guess, technically, but you can't do kickbacks or anything like that. So.
All right. What's going on with mortgage rates right now?
They're up.
Yeah.
Their average rate's up over 7%.
Holy crap.
So they dipped.
They dipped late September, early October.
And then they swerved because I swerve when I
dipped.
Do you get it?
Late September, early October, they were low sixes.
Yeah.
High fives, depending on the day and the lock and the. No, I'm not high fiving.
No,
I can't reach. I got short arms.
So just high five. High five. All right.
And it didn't last very long at all. It kind of was like a head fake, like they dipped and then they quickly shot back up.
They swerved. A swerve when I dip. A swerve.
Bit of a pivot.
A little bit of a pivot.
And they've been steadily, I would say, mid to late November, they've kind of been slowly edging up and continue to. You could see them go higher. The 10-year almost hit 5. The 10-year Treasury almost hit 5%, which is kind of like a big deal in financial markets when the yields hit 5%. So they're up to like 4.8, I think.
Where do you foresee them? I mean, you've been in this business for quite some time. Where do you see them climbing to?
I've read a lot of stuff that, it's hard to say that rates are going to hit this point at this. Nobody can exactly dictate that. But a lot of the economists that last year said in 2024, we're going to see rates get down into the, the high fives and stay there, or the mid fives or low fives. That's not happening. And I think most economists will say that we're probably, for the next 5 to 10 years, going to average rates in the 6 to 7 range.
Wow, really?
Now, when you do that, you can have times where obviously it dips under 6% and gets into the high fives or the mid fives, but you can also have times when it goes into the low sevens or mid sevens or high sevens. A lot of that is going to be kind of dependent on the economic data that comes out once the new president.
Can you tell everybody who you represent now?
Yeah, I'm with One Trust Home Loans. I've been with them for about a year and a half.
Okay.
So
I just want to.
Yeah. And
what's the phone number?
860-884-2103. It's my.
Yeah, I know. I just because I'm
surprised you don't know it by heart.
I just call Mike Mish.
Right.
What the? Wait
Remember
a minute.
back in the day when we used to have to remember phone numbers?
Yeah.
I don't think I would be so lost. I wouldn't be able to remember anybody's phone number.
No.
Except for my childhood phone number.
You had a Rolodex back then.
Yeah.
Now the Rolodex is just in your phone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or you had a little pad that fit in your breast pocket.
It was before my time, but possible.
That must have been a dude thing because I don't.
My dad had one. I knew a lot of people. They kept it in their back pocket.
Pocket protector, like
kind of. Oh yeah. That middle name was Myron.
Air gauge. The whole nine.
My name is Myron. Here's my brand new pocket protector. Lisa, Rates are up in the borough to offset the cost of the parking garage. And Big Mortgage is on it.
Oh God, taxes are going to go way up this year too.
I mean, you could. There's so many things you could do with that people would just take and run with. You'd be like, oh, the town's going to subsidize 0% mortgage interest rates for everybody in town. Be like, oh my God.
What are you telling people right now if they want to get a mortgage?
Construction, which is a lot.
You're talking about new construction?
Yeah,
are you talking about residential or
residential new construction?
Which is not a lot of that.
There is.
There is.
A lot of what I do.
Okay.
That's still been pretty steady because generally, if you're building a house, you're talking 500,000 plus. I would say the average is probably 600,000 to 800,000 now for most towns in southeastern Connecticut, depending on what you do for a house and finishes and land and stuff like that. So I think construction's still been steady because if you can afford a house of that size and that cost, you're generally in a pretty good financial. You're going to have a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month mortgage payment.
How much?
3, 4, 5, 6,000, depending on how much you finance, what the taxes are in the end, and that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's not for me.
All right, so when you can afford that, you can, the fluctuations in the economy or rates aren't as big a deal. But for first time buyers, it's it becomes problematic because normally when rates would go up, you'd see values come down to kind of offset what people can afford for the average income and the average payment. But because of the low rates we had, during COVID, and with rates going up, you don't have as many people listing their houses. So the inventory is still really short right now. We don't.
What does that do to the value of a house?
It pushes it up, supply and demand.
Yeah.
So depending on where rates go into the spring market, if they were to stay elevated like this, you still have buyers. And if you have more buyers than houses, then you get into competitive situations and it can continue to push the price of housing up. And then because of the cost of building new housing in these towns and New London County, Windham County, we can't really bring enough new housing stock to market to offset or to help that supply. So that's going to be a problem. And then I was reading something the other day that said, the wildfires that happen in California.
Yeah.
There's 10, 12, 15, whatever it ends up being for total losses of houses. There's a lot of people that, yes, ultra wealthy people or people that had insurance or even people that didn't have insurance will rebuild their houses. But if you lose your house and you don't like the politics of California or the taxes or all those other things, you might start to look at, hey, where can we go if we can leave California? And although a lot of people might leave and go down south, they said people leaving California, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut would be a big spot for a lot of people if they were going to leave in exodus and move out of California. So then you could potentially have more high income earners moving into Connecticut, pushing prices up higher. So it'll be,
and the demand will be higher.
I mean, I can understand that it's capitalizing on the kind of like an unfortunate situation, but that's just the way business is. But what I was going to ask you, it's kind of weird. I was going to ask you this, is that if somebody came to you and they said, hey, look, I'm going to build a $400,000 house, moderate.
Almost impossible, but yeah.
I'm going to build a $500,000 house.
All right, there you go.
What town do you push me to? Or do you, if you were to say, or if they would ask you what towns would you suggest I look at?
Yeah.
You would say, as a mortgage broker, not as Mike Mish, just regular guy.
Generally with new construction, you're going to look at, if you have a family and you're building a new house, you're going to look at
2 kids, 2 dogs,
school systems, and taxes. I don't particularly, push people to one town or the other. You might have somebody that wants to build that wants to be, more near shops or near the shoreline or something like that.
Yeah.
Waterford, East Lyme, Niantic, and then over to Stone.
Good luck at a $500,000 house there.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Right. Up this way more, Brooklyn, Canterbury,
Twin Cities of Attawagan and Belleville.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oregon, you know.
No.
But no,
I'm not going to Oregon.
Different towns like that. There's still a lot of building that goes on up in, Woodstock, Pomfret, Killingly, in those areas.
Is there still a lot of land left out there for construction? I feel like that's getting slim pickings too.
I mean, you're starting to see it more. The next generation, over the last 20, 30, 40 years, our great grandparents or grandparents, sold farms or gave it to their kids, and then they sold some of it off. Now some of those other big plots of land are have been passed down to the grandkids or the great grandkids, and they're unloading it. The hard part around here is that most towns, when you want to put in a subdivision to have access, a lot of towns don't allow flag lots, so you have to put in a road. Putting in a road, underground, drainage and underground utilities, it's unbelievably expensive. I think I've said it on the show before, $800 to $1,200 a foot to put in a road.
Jesus.
If you're putting it, so the builders shelling out money.
I heard $1 million a mile.
No, it's probably that.
Yeah,
or maybe a little bit less than that, but
Lisa has a question for you. She goes, "Are you seeing less young first-time buyers?"
Right now, yes, depending on their income. So if you have, like they call them dinks, double income, no kids. You ever heard that acronym?
Never heard that?
No.
Stuff. Yeah,
that's an actual
thing. If you have two people, that are making 60, 70, 80 grand a year each or more, and they don't have kids and they're looking to buy and they're well qualified, they can, I'm still seeing that. The people that, have a combined household income of say 50 to 80,000 total household, it, unless they've been saving up for a down payment, it makes it very difficult to buy.
So what are you seeing predominantly? If you were to say there was one demographic that you were seeing the most, what would it be?
I'm starting to see more of, actually, I've had a lot of it the last couple weeks on the new construction side, where the older baby boomers that maybe raised a family in a colonial 2-story, and when they built it or bought it over the last 25, 30 years, didn't set it up for retirement. So now they're in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and they've got a 2nd-story master, and they want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
The trick with that is, if they're building something like a 1-level ranch with a 1st-level master that they can, grow into retirement with, they have to build that house, which might be a 8 to 12 month lead time. Do they sell the house that they're in and go rent somewhere temporarily? Or do they stay in their house, build the new house, then sell the old house, pay the mortgage off or the construction loan off? So those are all, there's solutions to all those problems, but it really depends on people's cash position, what they have for income, what they have in pensions. Because when you retire, you're generally on a lower income, but you still often need income to qualify if you're going to take out a mortgage.
Right.
So,
do you have any questions or?
I guess, I'm thinking probably about 20 years ago or so, from my recollection, was the big McMansion boom, around
early
here.
2000s.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and it was all these McMansions everywhere.
3,000, 3,500, 4,000 square feet.
And are you seeing that trend is now kind of going in the opposite? Or is
I bet you're seeing downsizing.
You are seeing people, I think that, in the late 90s, early 2000s, the .com era, that new money type thing where people wanted, they wanted to have the biggest house on the lot, in the neighborhood. They wanted all those different things for a variety of different reasons.
Haley Meadow.
Building costs.
The houses over there are beautiful. I mean, they're big.
Building costs and building materials like labor and things were a lot cheaper back then, so people would build more. I would say now the average house that somebody's building is somewhere between 1,800 and 2,400 square feet is the max. However, depending on if you bought the land or if you already own the land, you're probably somewhere in the $300 to $400 a square foot total for when you factor in your land costs and your building costs. So, 2,000 square foot house at 300 to 400,
Mhm.
you're at
600,
800,
800,000. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the younger generation, millennials, they're more into open floor plan. Back then it was a whole bunch of rooms all chopped up.
Yep.
Offices
Now
are like that. The newer construction, they're
Yeah.
a lot. Like everybody's just out in the open, including the bosses and
That's
everything.
how our office
Right.
is.
Is it really? Yeah.
Yeah. So more open floor plans, energy efficient because of the energy costs. They
You can
want
discuss your
things to be-
feelings.
Exactly. That's kind of the more important stuff now that people are focusing on.
Wow.
It's something. It's funny how how the housing market changes. It's one of the things that seem to me that changes the most.
Yeah.
What people want to buy, how they want to buy it, where they want to go. Myself, honestly, I want to go into a 2-bedroom cabin somewhere deep in the woods.
Me too.
No,
I would
thank
love
you.
to retire.
Well, you're in Canterbury. You kind of are.
No, I mean like retire someday, and everybody wants to retire and head south. I'd like to head, north.
Yeah.
Very upper part of New Hampshire, deep up into Maine, something like that.
See, I don't know if I would ever leave this area just because I have too many ties here.
Yeah.
But I would certainly.
That's what they make planes for.
Huh?
That's what they make planes for.
Oh yeah, I would.
They can come visit you.
I would definitely spend time on more cruises.
Yeah,
there are people that live on cruise boats.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen some people say it's cheaper to live on a cruise boat, like annually. Like the cost is cheaper than owning a home.
Because you're not paying for food, you're not paying for anything,
Property
really.
taxes.
Yeah,
right, yeah,
all of that type of stuff.
Insurance.
Yeah, yeah. It's
you don't have a car.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the biggest things that I've seen over the last few years, though, is, and it's reinforced it in me, is every time the state or federal government steps in to do things that they say to make housing more affordable.
Oh yeah,
it has the opposite effect. That solution never works. Never, ever, ever.
Rich wants to know: do you see the bubble bursting at some point?
Don't. No. We're massively short of housing where people want to live. So if you look at reports of how many home buyers there are now, obviously that can level itself out over the next 5, 10, 15 years as the older baby boomers die off. That generation that there's 75 or 80 million, and they're replaced by newer generations that have less people in them. That can change. But when they say we have plenty of houses for everybody, yes, that's true if you count the houses in areas where people don't want to live. So there's a lot of housing that was built after World War II that is in suburban areas, that was suburban back then, around Detroit, around Hartford, around Bridgeport,
New Britain.
Yeah, different areas like that. That yes, there's housing there that's available, but it's not housing in areas where people always want to live. Not everybody wants to live there, and not everybody has an issue with living there. Some people don't mind it. But you tend to find now that people want to get out, especially with remote work and those abilities.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that during COVID. People like to live in New York, but a lot of people lived in New York City because they had to for work.
Mm-hmm.
And once they were given that opportunity to not, some stayed, some bolted.
A lot of people came here, especially to Grizzled.
Yeah.
And the thing I hear about Grizzled is because Grizzled has a little bit of something for everybody, and you're close to the shore. And you're not paying prices that you would be paying, like in, say, Mystic or East Lyme or Saybrook, Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the new parking garage going in.
And the new parking garage, to
alleviate all the parking
it is.
problems.
It's a nice, this part of Southeastern Connecticut is still dollar for dollar compared to, if you look at all of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, from let's say Springfield to Boston and the Cape. Southeastern Connecticut economically, for the cost of land and housing, is still the best deal in most of, if you look at now, if you go to way Western Mass, you might be able to find land cheaper, but Massachusetts, is crazy it sound, I think has more taxes than Connecticut. So
I don't know if this is a question or a statement, but with President Biden eliminating more student loan debt this week, is that really going to happen?
I don't know. I thought that got stopped.
I heard it got stopped.
Good. I don't know.
She goes, I wonder if more buyers will be positioned to buy a first home.
I'm going to say if they can't pay off their student loans, they probably shouldn't be taking out a mortgage. Just my first thought.
From my experience personally, even with housing prices and rates, it's not that home buyers can't afford housing with what they make, even if you're making 70, 80, 90 grand a year as a household. What home buyers can't afford is the rates and prices with a whole bunch of student loan debt, 2 brand new cars, Starbucks once or twice a day, dinner 5 nights out a week,
and DoorDash
and 4 vacations a year.
Yeah.
I will though. DoorDash, I get it. Taco Bell, it just hits different.
It does.
It just really does.
You really shouldn't eat that stuff.
It's
really
is
bad.
You want to hear something?
DoorDash Taco Bell.
The chicken nuggets. All right, they're talking about it as a health food, and a lot of different. 740 grams of protein.
Yeah, but at what cost?
Fried in seed oils.
Yeah, at what cost? That's awful.
It's got 740 grams of protein.
So does Reese cups have protein in them too. It doesn't mean they're good for you.
They're not.
And I don't know if you know this, but smoking's not good for you.
Yeah, no.
It's not.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if your doctor prescribed those to you or not.
I've been telling them for a while now. I'm like,
I'm not actually. No, I missed it by a year. And as far as the cigarettes, they take care of the copay too.
Oh my god!
So you're wheezing like that dog Muttley.
That's a good one.
That's it. Yeah.
What were we talking about?
About the younger generation and
student loans and stuff like that.
and all
Oh,
that.
okay. Why do you say hope they don't eliminate them?
Because I think if you take money out, you should have to pay it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think
Makes
that
sense.
if I'm a mortgage broker, lender, if I see that you'll see on the credit report that they have a history of not paying student loans, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of student loans are income based now. They're, they're lowering interest rates. They're not requiring payments on stuff like that. But I'm just a believer that if you took the student loans out, I mean, the reason there's so many student loans that people have had to take out is because of the rising cost of tuition. And the rising cost of tuition is a direct result of the federal government getting involved in subsidizing college education.
Yeah. And round
because they know that they can always, just like anything the government ever gets involved with, housing,
they mess it up.
Government, student loans, you can look at it. And if you take a chart of 100 years, wherever the inflection point on that graph of prices versus cost, where the government has gotten involved to help, the price always goes up. If you look at house prices from the early 1900s till the 60s, before they created Fannie and Freddie, house prices are up straight up. College education cost does the same thing.
As a lender, though, if you get an application and you see that they're looking to get a mortgage and but they haven't paid their student loans, I mean, are you less willing to? I mean, you'd be like, why are you asking for a mortgage if you can't pay those loans? What makes you think you're going to pay this one?
I mean, most every single person that I see right now has their student loans deferred. So none of them are making payments on it. Where that becomes a problem is if you have $150,000 in student loans and you're not making payments on it. And I've had people tell me, "Oh, I'm never going to have to pay those." It's like, okay, you might want to,
might want to check that.
Yeah, but if they're in deferment and you're not making payments on them, I still have to add a payment based on the balance into your debt to income ratio to qualify you for a mortgage. So if you're not making payments on it, they're not marking it as late,
right?
But that debt still shows up.
Mike, they're still having people I see online all the time now asking because the aliens are coming.
What?
Oh yeah. Do we have to pay our taxes? This is how some people actually think. Do we file because the aliens are coming and that's what the orbs?
Just tell them no. Just tell them no, don't file. Nope, you don't need to file. You're right. Nope, don't file.
Yeah.
Just let them figure it out.
Aliens from the sky?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you meant
not the ones from
Mexicans?
Mexico.
Yeah, like illegal aliens or something.
These are coming from the sky.
Yeah.
That I just don't.
No. That's the most extreme thing I've heard. People are literally asking, do they have to pay their taxes? They have to file. They have to do anything because there's a couple of people on there because of all the orbs and the drone sightings and everything.
Clickbait stuff.
Oh no, this lady goes on, talks for like 3 minutes a day. With a video.
Health assistance.
You ain't kidding.
It's almost like a game of true or false.
Yeah, almost, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
We don't know anything about that.
No. Will the real Mike Mish please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. You got anything else, Mike? Anything else you want to talk about from One Trust?
Home loans.
Yeah. 860-884-2103.
Wow, look at that.
Who's your daddy?
Oh, ew.
Mike Mish.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mike Mish is your daddy.
Yeah, he's my dad. Yeah.
Man, I'm just
I got you there.
Yeah. I did good in the first half of the show. Now I'm just getting zapped. No, you got anything else that you want to add? Or
No.
sure?
It's warm in here.
It's been a while since you've been here.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's funny because I was going to call you and then boom, you text me. I was like,
great mics think alike.
there you go.
There you go.
Including Mike Mish, your dad. Well, anyway, thanks for showing up today.
Hey, anytime.
Haven't seen really much of you lately either.
Well, last week I didn't come in. I forget why.
Yeah.
Work or something.
You were crazy. I mean, you were putting in our text.
You come in weekly. You must you're on the upper echelon.
I usually
list.
come
I'm at the
in
bottom
only.
of whatever scheduling list, and it's like, we need somebody to fill a spot. Let's call Mike.
No, I bring you in basically to talk mortgages.
I know.
If you want to come in just to BS,
No, that'll get me in trouble.
Then
Yeah, like you got to
then
keep it.
let's rock with that.
No, no.
All right.
My libertarian viewpoints probably wouldn't go over.
Actually, that'd be perfect.
You know what? Let me tell you something, and this is something I'm going to say something with because I'll probably get in trouble with this too. But
who cares at this point?
Yeah, who cares? One of the things that we argue, you and I have argued.
Well, you call it arguing. I just think it's funny.
No, right, but you know what I'm saying. Like, if you ask people, they'll say. To us, it's just whatever. They're saying, "Oh my God, they're fighting." Wayne and I, we've gotten red faced at each other and stuff like that. And we've literally turned the microphones off
and fist fought.
No,
no,
because none of this.
I bet you could.
I could take them.
Yeah, I would. But I'm not going to hit a girl.
You say I'm one of the
what
guys.
What do you mean?
Oh,
what?
True.
Equal rights nowadays?
I know, right?
That's true.
No,
that's true.
I can still take it.
By the time we're turning these lights off in here and stuff like that, we're laughing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's funny because you don't take it personal.
No.
It's a fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can as an adult, I mean, I think it's lost nowadays that you can disagree with people. You're never going to agree with everybody 100% of the time, whether it's friends, family, spouse, whatever it is.
And they're gonna have opposing views, whether it's spiritual, whether it's religious, economical, whatever it is.
Right.
And
the reason why a really super tiny small government that doesn't intrude in your life works good for everybody is because everybody can do what they want without the risk of being told what to do.
Yep.
So, Lisa says we should just have a dance off.
A dance off. Oh my God.
Can you dance, or are you like really weird?
I have 2 left feet.
Do you?
Most women can dance. They have rhythm. Are you one of those? Or are you like? No.
I'm not a big dancer.
You twerking and shit.
I can dance if I'm in the right space.
Like Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld. No.
I need to have liquid courage to dance, and if I have that in the right 90s, early 2000s music, I'm good. I can get down. But
down with your bad self.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
you know what we should do? I think me, you, Paul, and Rich. Wayne, he won't do it. We should do all the TikTok dances.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh
my God.
The APT dance, whatever that thing is.
I've never been on TikTok.
It's fun.
They're closing down Sunday anyway.
So, oh my God.
Can
we just
I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to get saved at the 11th hour.
Elon's going to buy it, just like Twitter.
I don't know who's going to buy it, but it's not. No, they're going to delay it.
I think so too.
Yeah,
but
it's not going anywhere.
What's funny though, for anybody who's on TikTok, anybody out there on TikTok, I'm sure you're seeing how everybody's mass going over and downloading Red Note, which is a pure Chinese, everything's in Mandarin. And all these Americans are downloading Red Note because that's the Chinese version of TikTok. And like, and now the Chinese people are putting on, they're like, oh, give us your cats. They're yummy. Like they're going back and forth.
No, good. At least everybody has a sense of humor.
They're talking about like, oh, hey, I'm your assigned spy. Please give me your social security number. Like
there's a guy on TikTok right now.
It's hysterical.
By the way, Erica, she goes, you need Rock'em Sock'em robot fights. I have Rock'em Sock'em robots.
I
got them for
Christmas.
I have some at my house. Hulk hands and box each other.
What?
Hulk hands.
The blow up ones?
The big ones.
Yeah. You really can't get hurt or anything. No. Or...
I have real boxing gloves. I can just grab my gloves and we can have a showdown.
Yeah.
So this is my...
So it is funny, the whole Red Note TikTok thing. Like Chinese kids are going on to Red Note and asking the new Americans that are on there to help them with their homework, their English homework. And they're like posting papers and like Americans are going in and helping them with their English.
There's a few.
Helping them with Mandarin.
There's a few of these different
I can't say
ones that are popping up.
The idea that
like
a lot of TikTok
together.
ends up, under the umbrella of the Chinese Communist Party and the Chinese government. I don't think that's great, but I don't think the government in the United States should have control over it either.
Yeah. Agreed.
There's a lot of people that do well and create an income and a living off of TikTok. Yeah. They have 1,700 American employees. Plus they have all these people on TikTok shop. I sell tumblers all day.
When American companies go over to China, they require a lot of a lot of skin in the game for that company. That company has to give up technology and all these different things. They have to open up manufacturing in China and do all that. So I don't see why we're required to do that stuff when we go into China, but the politicians never, put their foot down and say, all right, well, if you're going to, do this here, then you guys need to manufacture here. Yeah. You need to have a separate company that's a separate entity with the United States that is not connected to that, Chinese parent company. I don't think.
Are you familiar with Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead?
I know of him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is one of my latest because I just have fun. You don't even look at my page.
I'm a scroller.
What page?
I just scroll
on TikTok. Watch. Here's my.
I don't have TikTok.
He has an actual TikTok page.
No, I just got done saying.
It says what will happen to TikTok I don't know. On January 19th.
Which part of the
people
Walking Dead was that?
I think that's when his wife got killed.
Oh, in the beginning, the early.
It's like says the second season.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Jesus.
And then it's like, what are people going to do when TikTok is going to go? What are they looking at? Well, Joe Pesci has a solution for that. Here we go.
Oh, Facebook.
What movie was that from?
I'm going to say Goodfellas.
No, I don't think so.
Casino.
Maybe.
That's funny.
Casino. Anyway, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow, Psychic Thursday. Nobody bitches about that.
Who's on tomorrow? Just the psychics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have no Swami.
Okay.
Cool.
Did you ever ask him, what's going to happen at the next town select meeting?
We have done that. We've done that Heritage River.
And nobody complains about that.
No.
Anyway, all right. Kat, good seeing you.
Yeah.
And you too, Mike. We'll see you later. All right.
Seeing you.
Psychic Thursday tomorrow. Friday night, we have basketball Lyman versus Plainfield at Plainfield. See you later.